Your girl went to the library again. We back to the hardcover book. Welcome everyone, or you, because there's one person watching me now probably, say welcome to you. Today's video is me telling you, well, it's technically like a books wrapped for like the first quarter of the year. How people do Spotify wrapped at the end of the year, but this is my first quarter of the year books wrapped because I love reading and this is my channel, so I'm going to share what I enjoy with you guys because, you know, life is difficult. So to start off, before I continue, let me just state, those who hate romance, go see a therapist. I feel there's something wrong for you to hate romance, for you to hate love. You need to reflect on yourself. Now, I have read more than 50 books in the first 4 months, yes. However, I'm only going to give you guys like the ones that were the most memorable. I'm not going to split the books into sections because obviously they're different genres, but I'm just going to state the different genres and then we go through and I kind of tell you, oh, this is this and this is that. So the main three, romance, crime fiction, thriller type vibe, and then literally Christian books that teach about God. This is in no particular order. Gareth by Kimberly Ray Jordan. I actually just finished reading this a couple of weeks ago. Female lead just lost her mum. She's grieving. She needs a job. She lives with drug addicts and their vibe is just no. It is an absolute no. She ends up getting a call from a friend from school, invites her to work at her family's hospital. She pulls up and the main doctor, the doctor is brothers with her friend, ends up working there. He is very much, I just need to work. I don't really need women. I just need to work. Do you know what I mean? He's looking for the main, like he's looking for the one type situation. But at the same time, he doesn't believe in the one. Is this weird when the woman comes, I'll know situation? I'd give it a 4 out of 5 actually. Why did I like the book? Quite simply because I loved how the love wasn't really, it was just very soft and just gradual. Like it just made sense for them to get together. And I was just like, yes. And it was almost like a slow burn, but it wasn't a slow burn. And they like cheating whatsoever. There was a second female lead who kind of wanted the main lead. And personally, I feel like he made the boundaries very clear that no. So I really respect that because some books, the guys just, they're too tolerant of certain behaviors. And I'm just like,
Pack it up, pack it in.
And also as a woman, no shame. I always wonder when I see stuff like this, he made it very clear to you he's not interested in public, in private, text, voicemail, call, and you're a very persistent person. I wish I had your persistence because wow, once is enough for me to hide my face from everybody who witnessed such behavior. No. Second one was Becoming by Michelle Obama. Now this doesn't really fall under fiction. It was non-fiction and I don't read non-fiction, but wow.
That was crazy. I've never actually experienced that sort of atmosphere again before. It's absolutely electric.
There were so many nuances, so many stories and so many scenarios and situations I personally could relate to as someone who obviously moved to this country a couple of years ago. I was like, I've experienced that. So this is like a universal thing. I thought it was just me. I say my biggest takeaway from the book was people are going to hate you regardless. I'm sorry. People will hate you for the way you breathe, the way you walk, the way you twitch your nose, the way you do your hair. They will hate you regardless. You just have to do your best and know deep down you're doing your best. You have people's best interests in heart as well and do what you have to do. But yeah, 5 out of 5 book. Yes, 5 out of 5 book. It did take me long. I feel like non-fiction takes me way longer because it's non-fiction and you need time to process. You need time to really ruminate on certain words and sort of internalize it. So that was that. Third book, Once You're Mine by Morgan Bridges. Honestly, I don't remember this book at all. So I don't know why I made it to the list. The Royal Couple by Nicole Taylor. It's a second chance romance. I despise second chance romance because you
had your chance, you fumbled. Why would I let you fumble again?
But this, I decided to, you know, give it a little bit of time. I said, because I feel like it would get better. I really had hope. The writing was really good. It was really, really good, which was also another thing that let me stay. I felt like the characters were 3D, like they were people. It wasn't, oh, you're reading a book of characters. It felt like I was reading real life individuals. Main plot. She's an actress and she's just become Christian. Again, it's a Christian romance. She stops acting in secular movies and she's been married like 4 or 5 times, guys. Oh, she's been married. I was reading, oh, she married. I was like, girl, what was going on back then? But again, this was before Christ, guys, so cut her some slack. And she had a thing for this man one summer. And this man is a cousin to one of her best friends, if not her best friend. They had a little shenanigan, but they broke it off. Why? Read it to find out. It was actually a very valid reason as well. So I couldn't really hate her. But then at the same time, I did feel she dragged it out for a while. One of the reasons why she didn't want to date him was he wasn't Christian. Now she's Christian. Unequally yoked people, unequally yoked. We don't want that around here. So she was very much strict. She was like, I'm not dating someone that's not Christian. And I don't want you to become a Christian for me. And I feel like prior to this, when people would say, oh, why would you become? And I'm like, why not be, you know, the little push, give them that little push they need. If they want to become Christian, I'm good, you know? But then now actually reading it, I see the difference of you actually wanting to become a Christian for yourself and changing for yourself and you changing for someone else. It's not the same. And this book really allowed me to see that. Just the way sometimes you see people where it's like, oh, I'll stop drinking for you. And I say, don't stop drinking for me because it wouldn't last. Stop drinking for you. That's what's going to help you better, if that makes sense. So I'll give it a 4.5 out of 5. I'm very generous in my rating, so for people that are stricter, it may differ, but I'll give it a solid 4.5 out of 5. The next one was Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams. This isn't a Christian romance at all, but it is definitely not spicy. There's no smart, there's none of that. It's very much 1 out of 5, 2 out of 5. It's not detailed. It feels closed door, but it's not closed door. And I love it. I loved it. I loved it. I don't know how to tell you guys, and I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but in the name, you should be able to guess. Practice makes perfect. And it was very much a grumpy ex-sunshine trope. Loved it. I love grumpy and sunshine, especially when the guy is grumpy and she's the sunshine. The gem is when she's grumpy and he's sunshine. That is, guys, few and in between. I love when I find books like, please, if you know books like that, drop it in the comments. I need recommendations. It's so hard to find. I've scoured Reddit, Goodreads, I'm searching everywhere, and it's just so hard. Like, why can't he be the sunshine? Okay, it's cute. Like, I think I've read a few books because, guys, let me give you guys my backstory into reading. I was a Wattpad girly pops, okay? So when you're seeing me losing my mind, I've been in this business of reading time ago. Okay, I know, but and I remember I read this one book on Wattpad. I've completely forgotten the name, but the whole trope. That's when I said I need to find more. She's grumpy, he's sunshine, and she was very much. This is a high school romance, by the way. Started in high school, kind of went. It was the second book when they were older, and she is very much the popular girl. She's very grumpy, very bratty, and he was just that nerd in the corner, just doing his thing. But he was good looking, respectfully so. Everyone knew that. But he was just like, I'm not here for the girly pups. I'm here to lock in. But then he saw her, had a crush, and he locked in. He was intentional. He made it known. Miss Girl, I'm interested in you. What are we trying to do? And she's just there like, oh, like, aren't you supposed to be a nerdy shy? And he's like, yeah, but like, you're here. I don't want this opportunity to slip past. Okay, I need to lock in. And I loved it down. He pursued her with everything. Everything. And initially she was just like, oh, he's so not cool type situation. He just did not care. He didn't. And her friends were even worse, but he cared not at all. At all. Like, he would see the friends and be like, oh, if you guys are about to make fun of my shoes or whatever, feel free, but I'm here for Miss Girl. And you just see her gradually, you know, really just relax, be soft, be nice. And I was like, you've always been a nice babe, so why were you pretending? Why were you trying to do up? Oh, I'm the pop. Please. Loved their story. But it took a while. Because, again, it was backstories, trauma, parents, family. She's rich. She's mega rich. And he's not the richest of the lot. He's trying to study music. The dad is very much like, music is not a thing. It's not a job. Why? So, yeah, loads of obstacles. But they made it. And I love the book. I can't remember the name of the book. And I don't even know if it's on Wattpad anymore. But yeah, so please, I need recommendations. When in Rome, again, Sarah Adams. So When in Rome and Practice Makes Perfect are part of the same series because it's all set in the same village-ish. And it's about siblings. Is it about siblings? Yes. No? I think so. But the main characters are related. One of the main characters are related. So yeah. When in Rome, I believe like she was a superstar, pop star type girl, and her car breaks down in this village because she was just stressed about the whole being like a mega star type. She wanted to escape. She was like, I'm leaving LA, I'm leaving New York. I can't do it anymore. And she runs away. Her car breaks down in front of this man's house, and he's like, why is this random car parked in front of me? Pops out and she's like, OMG, he's paparazzi. She's scared because she's like, I've never run away from everything before. So she's run away. This guy comes out. He's like, oh, are you okay? And she just locks the door. She's scared because she's like, yeah, it's pitch black in the PMs. There's no light. There's nothing. It's just street lights. The houses look bare. It looks like no one lives in this town. And she's scared. She's terrified. And she locks the door. And it was so funny because then he comes and he's like, I'm not a serial killer. And she's like, that's exactly what serial killers say. The banter was so good. I loved it. Because she's so spoiled because people do everything for her and she's trying to learn. And he's just very much like, I don't have the patience for all of this. And he's a baker, by the way. And he's just like, I don't have the patience for you to try and learn how to be an adult. Like, this is how you do it. Take it or leave it. I loved their banter so much. And then like, I don't want to spoil it, guys, so go read it yourself. Then I read The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. And this is because my book club, they recommended it. So prior to reading this, I had no clue what this book was about, okay? But I was aware of the book in sixth form because I believe a friend of mine was reading the book. And I saw it and I was like, oh, I like the cover of the book. Seven Husbands. I was a bit confused, like, Miss Girl, how are you going through seven husbands? But entertainment and such, so I was like, okay. So I started reading the book. I had no clue where this was going. And, And then there was the other one. Guys, I know the name sounds crazy, but the name kind of tells you the entire book. So this one was called The Cowboys Reality Project. And the whole thing is, there's this Christian cowboy, because it's a Christian romance, and he ends up going on a reality show because he needs money for his ranch. And his friends kind of go, oh yeah, it's calm, it's not really Exorcist, it's not a Love Island type situation. So he was like, first, he did feel weird because it's like rejecting people publicly on TV isn't his cup of tea, like at all. He's not about that lifestyle. He doesn't even want to be on TV. But they were like, oh, like you need the money. So he was like, I'll go. And she is a makeup artist. So she was doing his makeup, and yeah, that's how they, but obviously touch-ups, because when you're on screen, apparently the cameras pick up, especially for like reality shows, the cameras be picking up pores and whatsoever. So that's why he had to do his makeup and stuff. And yeah. And then we have Picking Daisies on a Sunday. Picking Daisies on a Sunday is literally, it's just, lovely book. The whole premise is a contemporary romance following Daniela Daisy Maria, a fashion student who reunites with her childhood best friend and former crush, Levi Caldwell, after 4 years of silence. There was one called The Blind Date with the Professor, and it literally is that. He's a professor, but he's like a billionaire professor because his dad used to be like a billionaire, blah, blah, and he didn't want to take over the company. Like, he had no business taking over the company. He just wasn't interested. And he's the only son of the man. And the man is just miserable and old. He ends up going on a date with this babes. And she's quirky. They end up going on a blind date. And they don't gel the first time. Like, she's like this weirdo. Because he comes and he's... Because first of all, she pulls up. And she's really early. So she's waiting for a while. And he comes late, number one. She's like, why are you late to the date? This is before we see his POV, okay? He comes late and this man starts talking to her and he just rambles. He starts rambling about what he teaches, the physics, the maths, random facts. And she's just there like, yeah, I'm not doing this again. So she goes to the toilet. She sends her friend a message, a friend who set up the date, like, this man does not shut up. He came late. And no, he's just on my vibe. And she literally straight up told, no. Now, she accidentally sends this to him. Okay? He's there and she's in the bathroom and he gets the message. He's like, oh, okay. So she pulls up and she doesn't clock until later when they've gone and she's like, oh, I sent it to him. And then we see his POV and he was just nervous because she was so pretty. pretty? And he was just rambling because he didn't know what else to do. Like, my guy was stressed, and he only came late because he was volunteering. And like this, he does this thing where like he goes to visit old people and just talk with them. Like, that's the whole point of his volunteering organization. And yeah, that's why he was late. That's literally why. And yeah, it was just loads of misunderstandings. And then they went on more dates to sort of clear the air. And yeah, it was actually kind of nice. So that was that one. And the blind date thingy, there was like a whole series. And I believe I read the whole series as well. Like, blind date.
Professor blinded with this biker guy, blinded with the CA,
It's like a whole series she does, and they're all Christian romances. And then I read The Silent Patient. Speechless. That's all I'm gonna say, speechless. I should have seen the plot twist, and I suspected this individual, and then I was like, surely not, because they were then giving us other people, and I was like, oh, this person seems like this, seems like I was trying to understand. Boom, guys, when I tell you it was the last chapter or the last 2 chapters, I said, this woman is found, well, she's suspected of killing her husband, and from the time she's arrested to the time she's locked up in a mental asylum, because then they argue, oh, she's crazy. So they go, okay, you'll be locked in a mental asylum the entire time. She doesn't speak. That's why she's called the silent patient. Then we have the wife stalker. Again, this is by Liv Constantine. Again, bang of a book. So the whole premise of the book is there's this woman, her name is Joanna. Her husband is divorcing her and leaving her for this new babes in town called Piper. So Miss Girl, she starts losing the plot. Mind you, there's kids involved. I think they have, is it 2 or 3 kids? And she's losing the plot because she's like, who's this woman? Where has she come from? Why is her husband leaving her? What's going on? She is losing the plot. Then it was Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I feel like this was when I was in my let's get our, become financially literate thing in Jan. So I kind of just read the book, and I read a few others as well. I was listening to podcasts, and it was good. This book here, I literally went to the library the other day. The Reappearance of Rachel Price. It's the same babes that wrote A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, Holly Jackson. This book.
This might be the best book I've read this year. Like, I'm not even joking.
This is the best book I've read this year. It wasn't just 1, it wasn't just 2, it wasn't just 3. There were twists everywhere. And it started off slow. I almost dropped the book. I'm not going to lie. I almost dropped the book because the twists don't start coming until later on. They drop hints, but it's slow. I'm just like, there's no need for you guys to drag this out as much as you dragged it out. But when you get into it, you get into it. My jaw was on the floor. I literally was sending voice notes to Esme. I was like, Esme, what have I just read? Like, there's one books you read and your mouth is just like, how, like, what's going on? So the whole, it's in the name, The Reappearance of Rachel Price. The POV is from the daughter of Rachel Price. Rachel Price has been missing for the past 16 years, and the daughter was in the car when the woman went missing, but I think she was 2, so she was a child. So she doesn't remember anything, but the whole, you're the daughter of the missing woman has kind of just like governed her life, and she doesn't like it. So a TV crew come in and they're like, oh, we want to do a documentary on the whole story. Lo and behold, as they start the documentary, guess who comes back to town? Rachel Price. Everyone's like, something seems fishy. They want to start a documentary. You're going to make the most money if you come back, because obviously now they need you in the documentary. What's going on? I need to understand what is going on. And then we had The Family Upstairs by Lisa Jewell. This was also really good. The Family Upstairs by Lisa Jewell. Really good as well. It's told from 3 different POVs, which is also confusing, but it adds to the whole. It makes sense. When you're reading it, it starts to make sense. Intimacy Deficit by Ed Shaw. So the vicar at my church recommended the book. They were selling it at like the church bookstore. I just never bought it. I downloaded it online. Good book. It called me out. It just helped me be in tune with my emotions. Like, yes, understanding your emotions is good, but sometimes you just sitting there and feeling your emotions is also really good. I kind of just highlighted the relationships I should maintain as a Christian as well, because you need to maintain relationships as a Christian. It really plays a part in your journey with God, because if one is lacking, it starts to affect the journey. And everything they said, I was seeing it in my life. I said, I see why I am the way I am now. Yeah. It was The Bait of Satan by John Bevere. It just told me in this life, don't have pride. Like, literally, don't be pride-filled. Pride comes before a fall. That's literally the whole point of the book. Pride is the problem. Pride is the problem. And it is a problem. Like, even in me, I was seeing some things I said, I do have pride in certain areas I really shouldn't have pride in. It's going 3 for 3, the Bible. The Bible. So the thing is, honestly speaking, I'm going to confess to you guys now, because I feel like now that I tell you, I'll be so ashamed. I lock in. I haven't read my physical Bible in 3 weeks. I've been listening to the Bible. I haven't read it in 3 weeks. And I feel like it will show, because I'm trying to read the whole Bible, and you'd probably, when you open my Bible, you see the books of the Bible, which I clearly did not read physically, because each time I read, I try to learn something new or highlight something that's new, but not all the time, because sometimes it's just stories and it's like, okay, I get it, but you know, sometimes something new pops up and it's like, this relates to that one thing. You can tell. So I'm going to lock in. I'm currently on First Chronicles, and I realized First Chronicles sort of repeats some stuff in First Kings and Second Kings, or just Second Kings. I don't even know where that is, but I'm going to find out, because I'm reading my physical Bible from today. I will actually read one today. I plan to read this book next. Rough Justice, it says. Do we have the law we deserve? I don't think we do. And I feel like the only reason why this appealed to me was because I recently watched this show called The Lincoln Lawyer. So good. So good. Mickey Haller. Oh, Mickey Haller. It's so good. I recommend you all watch it as well. Yeah, I read manhwas as well. I don't know if I should do like a manhwa recap, because I've definitely read more manhwas. I've definitely I've read more, and it's specifically romance fantasy manhwas, but I don't know if you guys are interested in that. I don't read much mangas. I did read a few shoujos, romance but in manga style, so it's black and white and it's romance. You really get a range of them. Some of them are shorter, you have one shot, some of them are high school episodes, some of them are grown. It really depends on what you want. I'm normally one for color, but I've read a few shoujos recently. Romance makes me happy, guys, if you all can't tell. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, because I do realize I spoke for quite a bit. And yeah.